Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for checking this out on this holiday weekend. We're gonna do the first reaction for this channel after a 6-month sabbatical at least. There will be new video game content coming up when available. I might screw up. It's my first reaction video that I'm actually doing, so please bear with me. Kinda nervous, to be honest. Don't have the camera currently because I don't have a webcam available, unfortunately. So again, bear with me, please. We're gonna get into Strange Days by 3 Days Grace. And there is a bit of a backstory to this, but this is more of a cultural video from the look of it. And we'll go to some of the subliminal messaging. And when you catch certain things, you'll see what I'm talking about. Gonna pause when I think is best. We're gonna do 3 Days Grace's stuff first, simply because copyright seems to be an issue these days. So, let's get into the video.
Raise a glass to the end of it all. Who's to blame when it's everyone's fault? And we celebrate our way through dangerous times. Strange days are coming for us. Say goodbye to the way that it was. And we celebrate our way through dangerous times. I'm living in the strange days. I'm living in a world that I don't know. Get ready for the dark age. I'm living in the strange days, so say goodbye to the silence.
Now see, Strange Days and what they were going into, my personal opinion, it goes more in the video, more or less to what's going on politically and culturally today. Because I'm going to skip this back a bit. Let me see if I can catch this.
Dangerous times. I'm living in the strange days. I'm living in a world that I don't know. Get ready for the dark age. I'm living in the strange days, so say goodbye.
See you right there. Smooth taste, expecting Meadows crave. Okay. At one point, we were led to believe smoking was alright. People at the age of 18 have been smoking for probably the last 70 years. And with this photo dates back, I believe, to the 1930s to 50 range. And culture at that time was smoke anywhere you want, just about, and a lot of different things in regards to it. So, when you look at things like this, it brings a certain missing piece of our culture back, in a way. And people aren't looking at it that way. People are like, oh, that's so antiquated, that's not how we are anymore. And in retrospect, there was still a good amount of people that view the world this way. Let's get back into it.
Bye to the silence. We can dance to the sirens. Strange days, here we come. Strange days, here we come. Strange days, here we come. Never know when it's all going down. All I have is right here and now. So we'll make this moment last forever and ever.
Now, obviously, I wasn't able to catch some of those because of how quick the video was. But that last screenshot of the TV said marry and reproduce. This song was released in 2018 along with the Outsiders album. So that was at the start of a very tumultuous time culturally in the US, for those of you that aren't here in the US, and put values, American values more or less, back on the hot seat because you have culture saying one thing, but you have the people that are silenced for the most part, such as in Oklahoma or rural Missouri, basically anyone outside of a major city that tries to speak up but is suppressed by the major cities. And their values have been lost for the last good at least 40 years, from what I can tell. Because if you look back to dating back to at least the 1990s, it's what's known as the silent majority. They don't speak up because they know that they really can't. And the last year has really been changing in that regard. Let's get back to this.
If we go together. I'm living in a strange days. I'm living in a world that I don't know. Get ready for the dark age. I'm living in a strange days, so say goodbye to the silence.
I don't know if anyone caught that consume, but that plays a fact.
We can dance to the sirens. Strange days, here we come. Strange days, here we come.
Buy, consume.
Strange days, here we come. One of these nights, I'll take it down to the fire. With red in our eyes, we're gonna dance to the sirens. Say goodbye to the silence.
There's Mary and Reproduce again, but you also saw Sleep in there.
I'm living in a strange day, so say goodbye to the silence. We can dance to the sirens. Strange days, here we come. Strange days, here we come. Strange days, here we come.
Okay, everyone. So, that was 3 Days Grace, Strange Days. Go out of your way to check that out if you want, without the interruptions. Quite honestly, that is one of my favorite songs off of that album. There was like maybe 2 other songs on that album now I can play regardless. But in regards of what that song speaks to culturally, people don't think about it. At the same point in time, this album in particular, in my opinion, and I might do a album review for this album, along with another debut album from a different band, has a lot of subliminal, a lot of messages directed at their former lead single, who in 2015 released the Saint Insomnia debut album with that band, and threw a lot of shade back their way in a way. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you were around for 2013 when they broke away from each other, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those that won't, go ahead and go look it up. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Again, just to be clear, this is in fair use for reaction purposes, not to take credit or anything for that matter. Unfortunately, gotta make that statement. you all enjoy a good weekend.